The first thing the princess did after being reborn was break the cheap wooden hairpin in her hair. Then she stepped on the broken pin and walked into the royal hall to choose her new husband. All the men kneeling there were scholars who had just passed the imperial exam that year. Whoever she chose would one day help her rule the kingdom. The emperor and empress knew she liked one of the scholars, though his background was humble. They decided to respect her choice. But just as the emperor was about to announce the marriage decree, the princess stepped forward to stop him. She declared she didn't want the poor scholar, she wanted the great general. Her decision shocked the empress. She couldn't understand why the princess suddenly gave up the scholar for a soldier. The princess simply said people change. Though her words made sense, the emperor still hesitated. The general had just returned victorious and carried great influence. If he became the princess's husband, the emperor might not be able to control him. Yet the princess firmly believed that trust must be absolute. She also knew the general was loyal and worthy of her faith. In her previous life, the princess had fallen deeply for that same scholar. When enemy forces invaded the capital, she gave him the military seal and told him to escape through a secret tunnel for help. But instead of saving her, he stabbed her in the back. He planned to flee with his cousin and offer the seal to the enemy as proof of allegiance. Only then did the princess realize they had been traitors all along. Worse yet, under the scholar's manipulation, she had imprisoned the loyal general, allowing the enemy to strike. Knowing she had brought ruin upon her own kingdom, her heart broke. But she could do nothing. She chose to die with her country. At the final moment, the general broke through the siege to reach her. He vowed to die by her side. She tried to refuse, but he wouldn't leave her. Then everything went dark until she opened her eyes again and found herself reborn on the day of the husband selection. This time, she swore never to repeat her mistakes. She chose the general, the man who once risked everything for her. The emperor admired her determination. Since the general's status was special, he decreed the wedding would be held in 7 days, with the marriage announced publicly. After court, the scholars assumed the princess would pick the same man as before. They all tried to flatter her. The scholar, proud and arrogant, thought he already had her heart. When he saw her waiting at the gate, he scolded her for letting the emperor decide on his own. He told her to bring gifts and apologize to his cousin. After all, she wasn't the one he loved. But the princess pushed him aside and walked straight toward the general. The crowd gasped, stunned by her public rejection. The scholar thought she was just being jealous. She ignored him completely. The general, angered by the scholar's disrespect, ordered him to leave. The crowd quickly dispersed. Then the princess reached out and removed the general's mask. She was surprised to see that the man rumored to be hideous was actually handsome. As he stood there in shock, she confessed her wish to marry him. Before leaving, she smiled and told him to come for her in 7 days. Watching her walk away, the general felt happiness too sudden to believe. Later, the princess went to Linglong Pavilion to retrieve a jade belt she planned to give the general. There she unexpectedly ran into the scholar and his cousin. When the scholar saw the jade belt, he assumed it was an apology gift for him. He didn't realize the princess would never lower herself for a village girl. He mocked her for being petty and reminded her she'd need to be more generous once married. Then he reached to grab the belt. The princess warned coldly that it was royal property and touching it could mean prison. He laughed it off, but seeing her serious face, he grew uneasy and tossed the belt to the floor. Then he pulled his cousin along to pick other jewelry. The princess had seen enough of his shameless greed. She told the shopkeeper that any purchases he made had nothing to do with her. Unaware, the scholar picked out plenty of jewelry and prepared to leave, but the shopkeeper stopped him at the door. When told he had to pay, he froze. Embarrassed and angry, he threatened to cancel the wedding. Little did he know, the princess already saw him as nothing but a clown. A nurse nearby reminded the princess that the scholar